What's going on, guys? Ben here, Enos Tech, and today we're taking a look at the Raijintek Silenos tempered glass PC case. Now, this PC case features tempered glass side panels on both sides. So you've got one on the main side for viewing your rig, and then you've got one on the back that's going to show you cable management. So if you're not the best at cable management, not overly worried, and don't want to show the back end of your PC off, you may not want this case. It may not be the one for you. However, Raijintek have done a good job at allowing you the best possible chances to have decent cable management in this case, and we'll take a look at that more in this video of the final build. And you can also check out the website for the pictures and stuff to see the actual case itself before the build was in it, so you know the routing options and all that type of stuff for cable management. Now, as you can see here, we've got two big 200mm fans on the front, RGB. They come included with the case, as does the rear exhaust fan. Now, they all hook up to the RGB controller, and they even come with their own, there's a little button you can hit here just to change the effects on them. Now, it's pretty cool. You can obviously, of course, get all this hooked up to your RGB header on your motherboard if you've got a motherboard that supports it. But if not, you can still make use of this case, and you can still, as you can see, there's a number of different functions and colors, which we'll take a look at in a bit. Obviously, the button only allows you to do so much, but once you get it hooked up to your motherboard, that's when you can really take full advantage of the RGB LEDs and customize them to match your build. Now, moving around to the side here, we'll have a quick look at it with the side panel on, and then we'll take it off. Now, I know it doesn't, sometimes these are quite reflective in the video, so I do apologize if that is the case. But as you can see, full side panel, power supply cover, power supply shroud, whatever you want to cover it, and it's got a little cutout here to show off the make and model of your power supply. Or for those of you that are into modding or whatever, you could put a LED light box or something in there. Like, it's quite a nice few options there. So what we'll go ahead and do now is we'll take the side panel off real quick. It's fairly simple. You got two screws on the back as per normal, and then you've got a little button here to push it out, and it kind of just slides the tempered glass side panel off, and then you can just set it to the side. Now, as you can see, to show off this case, we've gone with a full RGB build. We've got a Thermaltake UX200 CPU cooler. We've got the Crucial Ballistics RGB RAM, Sapphire Nitro Plus 5700 XT. So as you can see, all this stuff, it fits in nice. All the RGB, like I said, you can customize it, hook it up to your motherboard. I've got the ASRock X570 in there, so you can't really see it because the GPU and stuff's in the way, but that's got a bit of RGB on it. And trust me, at nighttime, all of this glowing, all these rainbow colors, it does look pretty impressive if you're into that type of thing. Now, if you're not a big fan of RGB, you can, of course, set all of this to individual colors, or you can even turn it off. But again, you've paid a RGB premium for the LEDs, so you might as well use them in some sort of capacity. Now, we'll take a bit closer look at what's inside the case and just talk about the overall build and the process I had building in it. Alright, so as you can see, we've done a fairly good job at filling up the case and trying to utilize most of the space, except for the SSD mounts. Now, if you have a quick look across the bottom here, just on top of the power supply shroud, there are 3 SSD mounts. Now, these are easily removable, allow you to put your SSD in them, and then you can store your SSDs right there, and you can also show them off. Now, there was a day when a lot of people wanted to hide their hard drives and their SSDs now, but a lot of people like to show them off. It's always nice to have them. And in this day and age, we're starting to see more and more RGB SSDs, so people may in fact want to show them off. As you'll also notice, we've gone with some custom cables here from our friend over at To The Wire Mods here in the UK. He does a great job with the cables, and it really helps. A pair of custom cables really helps set your build off. If you'll notice now, we've kind of gone with a dual blue with the black on it because those are the main Enos Tech colors. They're not always meant to fit in with every build, but they do a good job, especially with the RGB and when I set the colors to how I have them, to my Raijintek colors. They're great, and as you can see, they really make the build, they really just help pull it all together and really help set it off, and it just looks brilliant. As you can see, they're doing a great job powering our Sapphire 5700 XT Nitro Plus. We've got the 24 pin up here. As you can see, plenty of room to get that there and everything. Now, for some of the cable routing options on the Raijintek Silenos, as you'll see, most of the front panel headers and wires and stuff, I don't know if you can see them, there's a nice cutout right here up in the top. So you'll be able to pass them through from the front panel I/O right out to the back, and then you can route them down and through or wherever you need to. There's also a few more pass-throughs on next to that right here, next to the motherboard, obviously, as you'll see for the 24 pin and whatever else. There's a few more down bottom for your SATA connectors and all that. Across the back side of the PSU shroud, while I know you probably can't see them here, there are 3 more cutouts to help you pass cables through. There's one on this side, one in the middle, and a final one here on this end. This should give you plenty of enough options to pass through any cables you need from behind the case up and through and plug them into the bottom of your motherboard. It'll give you room for all your USBs, your RGB, everything you could need. And lastly, across the top here, there are 2 more cutouts. Now, I know it's hard to see, but there's one here above the RAM. And then if you can kind of see over here, above the 8-pin power supply, there's another cutout there. So obviously you can use that to get to your power. Any headers you've got on the top side of your motherboard, you can connect them there, and it should give you enough room. Now, overall, I think the build was fairly easy. It was fairly straightforward. It didn't take me long at all. I don't recall running into any problems with it. Like you said, everything plugged and play, straight up and running, had all the RGB going, connected to the front panel header for the purpose of this review. And yeah, it was all a dream, and I think it looks quite nice. In a second here, we'll turn off the lights a little bit and look at it. But I think Raijintek, they've done a great job with this case. It comes in at a good price. Yeah, the price is only $59.99 from Overclockers UK when it is in stock. So if you look around here in the UK, you should be able to get this case for £60. And considering it comes with 3 RGB fans, that's an absolute steal. It offers great value for money, and we're going to go ahead and give it our must-have award, but we'll look at that again in a minute. But for now, we're going to turn the lights off real quick and have a little nicer look at the RGB and see how well it does. Right, so there you have it, guys. We've taken a closer look at the final build inside the Raijintek Silenos. Again, coming in at £60 here in the UK. This makes this a ridiculous case for the money. It's got 3 tempered glass side panels, 2 front intake 200mm RGBs, a rear intake fan with RGB light, and they can all be hooked up. It's got its own independent LED button on the front I/O. You don't have to use the reset button. There's a reset and a LED button. And I mean, £60 for this case is an absolute steal. Like, if you're in the market for a new case, this is an amazing offer. Like you can see, it's got so many options. It's got all the room to pass through your cables, and at the end of the day, it just looks absolutely amazing. So well done to Raijintek for the Silenos PC case. Again, we're going to go ahead and give it our must-have award here at Raijintek, and we're just going to end this here for today. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and please stay tuned in the future for more content.